Good morning and welcome to
Convos and coffee.
We have our coffee and our nice Disney mugs. I hope you
mugs ever.
have your coffee. So we are praying now very much for all of you. From me and Shannon and our family to yours, we just pray that God give you strength, that God give you peace, that God give you energy, and that His presence be real and full in your households.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important right now that the church be present, and and I know we've said this before, but how amazing is it that the church isn't a building, that we haven't lost the community that we had in the building, because
Absolutely.
we can still communicate with one another through online sources.
Absolutely. And we can trust and know as believers that God is in this. Mm-hmm. He hasn't gone on vacation, right? He is very much at work, and He is still working for the good of all of us and for His church.
Yeah, absolutely. But in this time, it's a lot of uncertainty, and I don't know about you, but I can find this time to be stressful. I have a lot of ups and downs. There can be, I haven't personally experienced this, but some people might be getting a little bored. Definitely getting stir crazy. There's just anxiety. There's just a lot that we're all going through right now.
Yeah, but even as we face these difficulties, we need to remember that there is a life that we are called to.
That's right.
And just because the world is on pause does not mean that your walk with the Lord is on pause. You're not exempt from living that life that He called you to.
Exactly. Through this time, you might think, well, I'm not going out, I'm not doing things, so there's not really any temptations that I'm struggling with. But I guarantee you that's not true.
Yeah.
Just because the world is on pause doesn't mean that the temptations are on pause.
Yeah, exactly. And stressful situations can actually lead us to fall into old patterns or make unwise decisions.
Yeah.
It can be really easy for me when my kids are misbehaving to blow my top and say something that I regret.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're lonely, and when we're lonely, that can lead us down paths to maybe accidentally or intentionally search on the internet in places that we shouldn't go. Or some people need to fill that loneliness with drugs or alcohol, and that's just a place that we don't want to go.
Exactly. So what we want to encourage you with today is to just stay strong and stay true to the Word of God and to the promises that He has for you. And stay true to the standard that God has called us to, which is to live a little bit of a holier life.
Yeah, and He's called us to righteousness.
Yep.
And we know that we can do that through Him who gives us the strength. And so we are going to read to you from 1 Corinthians 10:13 from the Message, because I believe it should strengthen you in this time. No test or temptation that comes your way is beyond the course of what others have had to face. All you need to remember is that God will never let you down. He'll never let you be pushed past your limit. He'll always be there to help you come through it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and there's a few key points that we just really want to bring out for you that hopefully will encourage your walk to strengthen you throughout this week.
Yeah.
The first is that if you're struggling right now, this scripture tells us that you are not alone.
No, definitely not. I have struggles every day, and everybody does. Let's not pretend that we don't, because we do. But second of all, we want you to understand that your struggle does not define you.
Right.
We all have bad days. Okay, that's just how it is.
Exactly.
But it doesn't define you. It doesn't mean that you have had a bad day. That means you're a bad person. No, that's not what it means. It's just something you just need to go, okay, God, this was a bad day. Can you take it? Let's start again fresh tomorrow.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be the defining factor in your life.
Absolutely. And then finally, I think it's really important for us to remember that when we fall, if we fall, we don't want to fall, but if we do, He will pick us up again.
Yeah.
And the key to that for me is that when I make a mistake, it is not my own strength that gets me back up again. Whenever I try and do it in my own strength, I just fail again and again and again.
That's so true.
So the first place I need to turn if I've made a mistake is to God.
Yeah.
I tell Him I've done wrong. I ask for forgiveness, and He forgives. He is so good and faithful that every single time He will forgive. And does that mean we go on sinning so that grace may abound?
No.
No, it doesn't mean that. obviously. But the fact of the matter is our God is not some general walking around angry at us every second of the day because of the mistakes we make.
Yeah.
He loves us dearly, and what he wants to do is to change our lives. And the only way for our life to truly be changed is to truly turn to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
We hope this encouraged you this morning.
Yeah.
Don't forget that if you have any prayer requests, you can go to the Bethel website, www.bethel.ca, to post a prayer request, and we're praying for you guys.
love you lots.
Bye.
Bye.